Hello and welcome to the Hack Divorce Course Financials module. My name is Michelle. I'm a family law mediator and creator of the Hack Divorce Course. Check out the link below to download the free financial module workbook that accompanies these videos. And if you're a DIYer and would like to write your own separation agreement, click on the link below to purchase my definitive sourcebook of family law separation agreement clauses. This one-of-a-kind, indispensable resource will show you a dozen examples of real, comprehensive separation agreements with tips and tools so you can competently write your own agreement. Be sure to like and subscribe, and now, let's get on with it. First of all, we're going to go over some different categories of pensions. In Canada, most people who have worked have paid into the Canada Pension Plan, or the CPP. Throughout a person's life, they will build up credit in the CPP, but it's based on some complex math, and the formula for figuring it out isn't straightforward. What you need to know is this. Like other marital property, the Canada Pension Plan is something that can be split, but there's a process to it. You might be wondering why couples might want to split their CPP credits. In most situations, one party to the marriage has typically worked more because the other party stayed home with the kids, or there was some other arrangement that caused the other party to not earn as many Canada Pension Plan credits. To be fair, the credits that were earned jointly during the marriage can be added up using a complex formula and then be redistributed equally between the parties. This way, the party that devoted more time to non-paid activities such as raising the kids and maintaining the house is still recognized for their contributions to the marriage, even if they were not measurable like paid employment. So to split CPP credits, one party from the divorcing couple needs to apply using a special form, and you can find the link for that below. This can only be done after the official divorce decree is issued, and there is a limited amount of time to do this, so be sure to read all the information. For CPP splitting, you can include the following clause in your agreement. It would be under the section called Pensions. Either party may apply for a division of Canada Pension Plan credits. Before we talk about the other types of pension plans, let's talk about the term family law value. Family law value is the value of a pension accrued during the marriage that can now be divided between the former spouses. Sometimes an elaborate process of application and review must occur in order to decide on a family law value for a pension. However, many couples also elect to keep things more simple if they can. There are certain circumstances, such as with a defined benefit pension, where getting a costly evaluation cannot be avoided if its value will be included in the equalization. If you need a pension evaluated, you need to make sure that you get the correct application form. I've provided many links below where you can find pension information specific for your province in Canada and a few links for people who may live in other countries. The process will be similar regardless of where you live, but it's up to you to find out specifically what rules apply to where you live and which forms you might need to fill out. So, now we're going to talk about defined contribution pensions. As the name suggests, a defined contribution pension is based off of how much money was contributed by the policyholder and/or their employer to the pension. The monies that are contributed are then invested with the expectation that many years down the road, once you're ready to retire, the investment will have grown. There are a number of things to consider when deciding how to evaluate a pension for splitting in a divorce. First of all, knowing how much was contributed between the date of marriage and the date of separation is critical. You will probably need to consult your employment's HR office to request the statistics on your pension account if you don't have a file with this information at home. Many couples that I've worked with have simply used the value of the pension between the date of marriage and the date of separation, and this is by far the easiest way to go. However, some clients wish to go a step further and come up with an agreement around the commuted value of the pension. The commuted value is a speculation about what the pension will be worth at the time that the policyholder plans on retiring and will begin to collect the pension. This is tricky because unless you have a crystal ball, nobody can really know for sure how much today's value on a policy will be worth in 15 to 25 years' time. Another thing to consider here is that in most cases, the split-off funds from the pension will need to be reinvested in some sort of a locked-in investment fund anyway, in which case the party receiving the split-off funds will still have investment growth. So splitting the pension based off of a commuted value would be like double dipping. Beyond all this, people who are looking to split a pension should check into any tax law or penalties that may be applied to splitting their particular pension. If they discover that this is an area of concern, then a financial professional should be consulted. So let's explore what some clauses might look like in reference to splitting pensions. So the first one we're going to look at, all of these will be in the section entitled Pensions. The first one is about splitting the pension. So the clause might look something like this. The family law value of John's pension interest is property to be equalized within the meaning of the Family Law Value Act. Or if you're not going to include the pension interest in the equalization, then you might say something like, the family law value of John's pension interest will be valued, but will not be divided or included in the equalization of the marital property. Finally, maybe you're going to include the value in the equalization, but you aren't necessarily going to split the pension. You might trade around other assets instead. So that clause would probably read something like, John's pension will instead be included in his net family property and equalized in the property section. Moving on. A defined benefit pension is by far the trickiest type of pension to evaluate. That's because its value is dependent on a number of complex factors besides just the money that an employee contributed to a plan. Because of this, a person with a defined benefit pension will need to apply for an evaluation, see the links below, to determine a range of commuted values that the parties will then need to decide upon. Defined benefit pensions are analyzed and interpreted by a group of super smart mathematicians called actuarialists, and it's not a quick process. These evaluations usually take several weeks to months to prepare, so factor this in and don't be surprised if you have all of your other agreements made but are still waiting for the pension evaluation to arrive. An evaluation for a defined benefit pension is often accompanied by a lot of information that should be read through. If you don't understand it, then please reach out for help from a knowledgeable friend or a professional. Before we finish up here, I want to show you one of the links that I've given below. It's the federal site in Canada for the Financial Consumer Services Commission. From this site, you'll be able to access information regarding pensions for the various provinces and territories in Canada. There's a lot of other helpful info here too. Just follow the link that I've given below and scroll through and get an overview of what's available. Towards the bottom of the page are links to the various provinces and territories so that you can get more specific information according to the area in which you live. Finally, be sure to scroll through the other links I've given in the resources below to find pension information that's specific to your province or country. If you know of a helpful link for this section, please let me know by sending a quick message. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to grab your copy of my indispensable resource for writing your own separation agreement, the definitive sourcebook of family law separation agreement clauses. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.